Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're jumping into some really intriguing ancient texts, mostly Deuteronomy 19, but also touching on Job and Proverbs.
Right. And the goal is to see what these thousands of years old laws can tell us about justice, community, even our own behavior today.
It's kind of amazing how relevant they still feel. So what's our focus?
Well, we're looking at three main ideas that emerge. Protecting the innocent, respecting property or boundaries, and really upholding truth. Foundational stuff.
Okay, foundational. Let's start with protecting the innocent. That brings us to the cities of refuge, right?
Exactly. Deuteronomy 19 lays this out. These were specific towns set aside.
For people who caused a death, but crucially by accident, like the example given. An axe head flying off.
Precisely. A tragedy, yes, but without intent. No malice involved. And this was vital given the context.
What context was that?
Well, you had the prevailing principle of the time, the Talio law, life for life, eye for eye, retribution.
Ah, okay. So instant justice or maybe revenge was a real possibility.
A very real one. The victim's family, the avenger of blood, could act immediately. So these cities, they were a crucial safeguard.
A buffer zone almost.
What?
To prevent revenge before the facts were clear.
Yes, exactly. To ensure innocent blood wasn't shed just because of an accident, and they were strategically placed to accessible from anywhere in the land. Mercy had to be reachable.
It's a fascinating distinction between accident and intent, something our legal systems still grapple with.
Absolutely.
But what stopped actual murderers from just hiding out in these cities?
Good question. The system wasn't a free pass. Deuteronomy is very clear. If the killing was intentional, premeditated,
Then what?
then the elders of the killer's own town were to investigate. If confirmed as murder, they had to hand the perpetrator over to the avenger of blood. No refuge for them.
No pity, the text says.
Right. No pity for intentional murder. It makes you think, though. How can our communities today be places of, maybe not refuge in the literal sense, but understanding for mistakes or failures?
Instead of just instant judgment. That's a tough one. Okay, let's shift to the second point. Respecting property. Deuteronomy 19.13. Do not move your neighbor's boundary marker.
Seems pretty straightforward, right? But these markers were vital. In that agrarian society, land was survival. Moving a marker was essentially theft, potentially devastating theft.
And the text suggests it often affected the most vulnerable.
Exactly. Job and Proverbs specifically mention how the powerful might exploit orphans and widows this way, those who couldn't easily defend their property lines.
So how does that translate for us today? Most of us don't have literal stone boundary markers defining our livelihood.
Well, think about invisible boundaries. People's personal lives, their families, their emotional space, their reputation, even their digital footprint.
So it's about respecting personal space and privacy, not intruding.
Precisely. Not overstepping, especially with judgment or unsolicited advice. It's a warning against sort of encroaching on someone's life, particularly if they're in a vulnerable position, spiritually or emotionally.
That really resonates. Okay, third theme, upholding truth. The law about witnesses.
Yes, Deuteronomy 19.15. Any accusation needed confirmation by 2 or 3 witnesses. A single voice wasn't enough to condemn someone.
Which makes sense as a protection against false accusations, which could obviously destroy someone.
Absolutely. But the really striking part is the penalty for being a false witness.
What was it?
Deuteronomy 19 lays it out clearly. Whatever punishment the false witness intended for the accused person, that's what the false witness would receive themselves.
Wow. So if you falsely accused someone hoping they'd be fine,
You paid the fine. If you were aiming for imprisonment,
you'd be imprisoned. That's the eye for an eye principle again, but applied to words and testimony.
Exactly. It highlights the incredible power and the responsibility that comes with our words.
And in today's world, with social media, rumors spreading like wildfire, that feels incredibly relevant.
It really does. It forces us to ask, are our words building up or tearing down? Think about the damage false rumors or gossip can do. It erodes trust, divides communities.
But the flip side is also true, right? Speaking truth, affirming good.
That strengthens communities. Upholding truth, demanding evidence before condemning. That builds integrity. Just as this ancient law intended, it aimed to purge evil, meaning falsehood and malice, from their midst.
So wrapping up, we've looked at refuge for the unintentional, respecting boundaries both physical and personal, and the critical importance of truthfulness, backed by serious consequences.
Yeah, 3 powerful themes from just one chapter, really. And maybe the final thought to leave you with is this. How do these principles play out in your own life? Are you someone who offers understanding, like a refuge, or do you tend towards quick judgment? Do you respect others' boundaries, seen and unseen? And your words, do they build trust and affirm truth, or do they contribute to division?
It's a lot to reflect on. These ancient laws really do challenge us to live with more justice and compassion right here, right now.